Hello people, welcome back to the channel. This is another episode. Today we bring you the news of the week, that show where I bring you the latest news in gaming industry. Starting today with the new DLC for the Lies of P. There has been confirmed the new DLC for the Lies of P due to the financial report of the new Wiz company. Even though Stellar Blaze is still on the front of everyone's minds due to its recent release, there is no denying that Lies of P made a huge impact in 2023 with its release. And now it's been confirmed due to the very positive financial results that is being developed by the Studio 8 and their team, and is expected to be released with expansion somewhere on the second half of 2024. The first glimpse of the game came during Gamescom 2022 as part of the Xbox conference. This leaves us with two possibilities: either this will be repeat on this summer's event, or it's very likely that Xbox will do one of the classic day one release on Game Pass and presented next June. Either way, all we can do is wait. Next we have God of War Ragnarok on PC. It is expected that during May, Sony will host the showcase event, showcasing short terms, novelties, and upcoming productions like the Silent Hill 2 remake. And it's very likely that during these announcements, the launch of God of War Ragnarok for PC will be included as part of the rumors from the labs. During its release week for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 in November 2022, God of War Ragnarok sold more than 5 million copies, reaching 11 million in its first quarter. Thanks to these numbers, Sony confirmed it as the best-selling first-party game of the company up to that point. Kratos' latest adventure surpassed 15 million units sold in November 2023, demonstrating why it's one of the most sought-after and inflation titles in gaming in recent years. Additionally, a month later, it received its free expansion God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. There is also speculation that during this event, PlayStation will reveal the PlayStation 5 Pro, which is a new version of the acclaimed latest console that may be possibly available by the end of the year. Over the next few days, we'll probably be checking the social media of Sony very closely. And in other news, we have Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Bandai Namco and From Software have released a new trailer for Shadow of the Erdtree, the expansion DLC for Elden Ring. Just 1 month before its launch on June 21, the new trailer appears to emphasize what Hidetaka Miyazaki has already promised. In terms of volume, ambition, and content, it is described as the largest DLC ever produced by the studio. The trailer is dedicated exclusively to the story of this DLC and is scripted as one would expect from Software's narrative. The trailer shows a war which the main game did not cover in the story and mentions key characters like Miquella and Mesmer. While it was already known that the DLC would take place in a new setting, Land of the Shadow, it is unclear if the war-torn land in the trailer is indeed this area where the expansion will take place. Focusing on the story, the trailer did not reveal any new enemies or new weapons, although the game's social media has been sharing images of bosses and enemies from Shadow of the Erdtree in recent weeks. It has also been said that it will be necessary to have defeated Radan and Mon to access the content. The entry point, or one of the first steps at least, is likely related to the cocoon of Miquella that can be found in Moonwind Palace. Therefore, if we haven't reached that point in our game yet, we will need to make sure to do so beforehand. The DLC will be accessible both in our first playthrough or in a New Game Plus. In addition, there has been exciting teasers about new enemies. While silence has been one of the From Software's main characteristics throughout this time, it must be said that since its revelation, little by little, we are learning more about Shadow of the Erdtree and everything this Elden Ring expansion has to offer, including the confirmation that it will not have as many endings as Elden Ring. We have recently been introduced to an enemy that bears a striking resemblance to one from Bloodborne. Veteran PS4 players will remember that in Bloodborne, there was an enemy called the Brain of Mensis, with a massive brain covered in eyes that were very terrifying to encounter. Although there is no confirmation as such of the inspiration for this new creature, the official Elden Ring account has introduced a new enemy that strongly resembles that one seen in Bloodborne. It is likely that with a month ahead of its release, there may be more enemies and material from Shadow of the Erdtree to be revealed, but until then, remember that this expansion will be released on June 21, 2024, available on all versions of the Elden Ring on the market, namely PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. And to finalize, guys, Ghost of Tsushima on PC is the best second PlayStation launch on Steam. Ghost of Tsushima: The Director's Cut has been released on Steam and is the biggest PlayStation launch ever on Steam. The acclaimed title by Sucker Punch was released on May 16 on Steam and Epic Games Store, and handled by Nixon Software, a Sony-owned studio responsible for porting Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Marvel Spider-Man Remaster, and more titles. Jin Sakai's adventure stands as the most played solo Sony PlayStation game on Steam, surpassing God of War and Marvel Spider-Man in its field. After years of exclusivity, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut finally arrived on computers with the base game and the Iki Island expansion and its multiplayer mode Legends, except in 170 countries. Unsurprisingly, Helldivers 2 is still the most popular game from PlayStation on Steam, by a large margin though. Although the samurai game by Sucker Punch has had a good reception since launch, nevertheless, Ghost of Tsushima is now the second best PC launch for Sony Interactive Entertainment, only behind the successful and beloved Helldivers 2 by Arrowhead Game Studios. To put the data in perspective, it is worth noting that it surpassed the 73,529 concurrent users of God of War and the 66,436 concurrent players of Marvel Spider-Man Remastered. So guys, what do you think about the news that I mentioned before? Do you have anything in mind related to one of them? Have you played Ghost of Tsushima, the PC release yet? Or do you still play Helldivers? Are you still hooked like I am? Not gonna lie, with Helldivers 2. It's amazing, by the way. If you haven't tried, you should try. Or do you have any other topics you would like to share in the comments below? Please do. I will happy to have a conversation with you guys and to reply and to talk video games or whatever. Like really helps the channel. Please subscribe because of video games. Cheers.